Hi, I'm Zoe, and I am a marriage and family therapist. Years ago, I studied psychodrama, trying again to learn more about the emotions and how we deal with things. Probably a couple years of training. What was so fascinating was a person had to reenact the trauma that they had encountered. And then someone would be an alter ego and someone else would play the roles. We took them back in time, something that we do here too, but we needed 8, 10, 12 people to make that happen. And the other thing, when the individual was back in the rape, the incest, grandpa coming up the stairs, the various things that were going on, there was often so much trauma that we could not necessarily go into the forgiveness part. We often, did the embracing, the protective mother, the things that were needed. But my sense is because people were so deeply into their pain, the abreaction, that some of the forgiveness just wasn't able to be accessed. Then I have also studied EMDR, which of course was used. We learned that it worked when the folks came home from Vietnam. And, what do we do with the victims of trauma? And that was one of the first times that we were really putting together the mental component. But when I learned that technique, that is something the therapist does to the client. Now, if a client is, some of you are reticent to come. People are reticent to come to therapy, of course, too. I remember the first time I was getting training, I missed the turnoff to where I was supposed to go. So we work with the client, and we do the EMDR and can resolve the conflicts relatively quickly. But what I was wanting for my people was something that would send them home and they could take care of themselves. And regular EFT was something that I could send home with them. But like the rest of you, I'm looking online and there's got to be something better. And I liked Robert's trainings. When I was catching Robert, it was the trainings, it was the information. Because the other thing I love to do is brain research, and there's so much good stuff going on now in brain research. And that had an appeal for me. So what I do with my clients, depending upon who they are, what's going on, EMDR if it's needed, and then as I shared the other day, stories for the little kids so that mom and dad can read them stories so they're seeing that differently, and then giving them now it's FasterEFT so that they can take care of themselves. And it's fascinating to watch. They come back and they report this and that they were able to get through. The other thing that I was thinking, though, as I was watching, a couple things. What are you calling it when they're both on both sides? The crossfire. There are some tapes that Paul Sheely has where you can listen to that kind of thing at night when you're falling asleep, and that is very helpful. And Daniel Amen, who does so much work with the brain specs, is doing things, and I was wondering if at any time in the future we'd be able to see what is happening in the brains of us while we are doing FasterEFT, because we know it is circulating all different parts, and wouldn't that be fascinating to be seeing in color what's happening to us while we're doing some of this. So the research goes on. Robert's got something that really works and makes a difference. And I appreciate being able to use it, and I hope more of the practitioners out there who are also trained as various kind of mental health therapists will use this. And it's the kind of thing, if I were back in the classroom, I'd do with my students. It could relax them before tests. It takes care of crisis. We had a shooting in Sparks. It's the kind of thing we could just get into the schools. So, thanks.